Hi everyone, my name is Fatin Amalin and today I would like to present a topic entitled The Development of Childhood Occupation Starting from Birth to 2 years old. Childhood occupation can be defined as the daily activities that the children engage in. The examples of activities are including eating, toileting, playing, and learning. And these activities are essential to the child's development to ensure that they become an independent adult in the future. So the childhood occupation that we are going to be discussing today is the play occupation, which is starting from birth to 2 years old. And for the age, we are going to be dividing the age category into 4, which is the first category is from birth to 6 months. So for this category, the play occupation has 2 types, and first one is exploratory play. So for the exploratory play, sensory motor play is predominates, and the second one is social play, and this is focusing more on the attachment and bonding with parents. So now let's take a quick look for the developments of performance skills for this age group category. So the first one is the regulatory or sensory organization. So usually the children at this period of age, they will use their hands and mouth for exploration of objects. Meanwhile, for the fine motor or manipulation, usually the child able to develop accurate reach to objects. Besides, they will use a variety of palmar grasping patterns, and they also able to secure objects with hands and bring it to the mouth. Next, for the gross motor or mobility, usually at the age of 3 to 4 months, the child will be able to lift up their head, and at the age of 4 to 6 months, they will be able to raise their trunk when lying on prone position. Besides, when they lie on supine position, they will be able to kick reciprocally. Next one, for the sensory, they will also use their hands and mouth to explore objects, and they will integrate information from multiple sensory systems. Last but not least is the development of the social. So for the development of social, they will be expressing discomfort by crying or communicating simple emotions through facial expression. Moving on to the 6 to 12 months age category. So there are 3 types of play occupation, and the first one is exploratory play. So for exploratory play, it involves sensory motor play that will evolve into functional play. So the next one is functional play. Functional play starts when the children begins to use toys according to their functional purpose. Last but not least is social play. Social play involves children showing attachment to their parents and caregivers. Moving on to the regulatory or sensory organization. So usually at this age, the children starts to self-feeding with a variety of food texture, and they will also cooperate with dressing. Meanwhile, for the development of fine motor or manipulation, usually at this age, the children starts to grasp objects with fingertips, and they will also use index finger to point objects and uses their index finger to explore toys. Next is the development of gross motor or mobility. So at this age, the children able to sit independently or stands and holding on for support. Besides, they will also be able to crawl initially on belly. However, at the age of 10 months, they will be able to crawl on all fours. Next is the development of cognitive. So for the development of cognitive, the children will be able to recognize their own name, and also they will be able to recognize words and other family members' name. Last but not least, they will be able to respond to the appropriate gesture. Last but not least is the development of social. So the children will be able to show dependence on their mother and also show anxiety to a stranger, and last but not least, they will also be able to lift up their hands to be picked up. Moving on to the age category of 12 to 18 months. So there are 3 types of play occupation, and the first one is relational and functional play. So this type of play involves the children to engage in a simple pretend play directed to itself, such as pretend to sit, sleep, or eat. Next one is gross motor play. So for the gross motor play involves the children to explore all spaces in room. Last but not least is social play, where children begins to interact with their peers and also begins parallel play. Moving on to the development of regulatory or sensory organization. So usually at this age, the children will enjoy messy activities and will also react to extreme sensations such as cold, warm, or sweet. Moving on to the development of fine motor or manipulation. So at this age, the children will be able to point to picture with index finger, and also they will be able to use two hands in playing, with one hand to stabilize, with another hand to manipulate. Next is the development of gross motor or mobility. And usually at this age, the children will be able to sit in a small chair or climb up onto the adult chair, walks well and playing while standing, and also be able to pick up toy from floor. Next is the development of cognitive. So at this age, the children need to be able to understand how object works and its function. They also need to be able to recognize the body parts, and they need to be able to use trial and error in problem solving. Last but not least is the development of social. So at this age, the children need to be able to move away from parents or share toys with parents, and they will also need to be able to respond to of others. Moving on to the age category of 18 to 24 months. So there are 4 types of play occupation, and the first one is functional play. So functional play involves the children to perform related multiple actions together. Next one is gross motor play, where children enjoy the sensory input of gross motor play. Next one is pretend or symbolic play, where children makes inanimate object, performs actions. Last but not least is social play, where children imitate parents and peers in play, and also they will participate in group of children. Moving on to development of regulatory or sensory organization. So at this age, the children will enjoy solitary play, and they will also enjoy stumble and rough play. Next is the development of fine motor or manipulation. So at this age, usually the children able to complete 4 to 5 pieces puzzle, build tower, hold crayon with fingertips, and draw a simple figures. And last but not least, they need to be able to use simple tools. Next is the development of gross motor or mobility. Usually at this age, the children able to walk, runs, climb up and down stairs, climb up the jungle gym, and jump with 2 feet. Next is the development of cognitive. So for this category, the children able to use objects according to the functional purpose, has inanimate object perform action, and link multiple steps together. Last but not least is the development of social. So the children need to be able to show affection and also show variety of emotions such as anger, sympathy, joy, and frustrated.